Welcome back, Computer Science Patines. This is part 2 of your practical cum revision class. So in this part, we will be doing some or executing some programs, important programs of chapter 1. So for that, let me go to script mode. For that, I will be opening up a file where I have stored all the important programs. Let them see one by one. So these are your important programs. You know very well for what we use this is comment. So I have stored all the programs inside of one file using this comment. So I hope you recall it very well. So first program is arranging three numbers in ascending order. For that you need to take help of this input function. Okay, these all programs we have discussed in our theory class. So right now I'm just helping you out to make it more clear just by executing them. Okay, so this input function will help you to enter first number, second number and third number. Okay, x, y, z, these are the three variables which will be storing this values of these numbers. Okay, so we have to arrange them in ascending order. So we will be arranging them. Okay, how to arrange them? We will be doing comparisons. How to compare? See, if x, we will compare x with y, x with z. If x is smaller than y and x is smaller than z, it means ki x is the minimum number, and then we need to compare for x and z. So if this condition is satisfied, then we are clear about the minimum number is x always, so minimum will be x always in both the cases. And then we have to search for whether y is minimum or z is minimum. Okay, so if y is less than z, that means middle number is y and maximum number is z. Otherwise y will be the maximum number if y is not less than z. That means what? Then the middle number will be z and maximum number will be y. Let us consider the second case also. Here again what we are doing, we are comparing y with x. If this was the case when x was the smallest number among the three. This is the case when y is the smallest number among the three. Okay, so y is less than x and y is less than z. That means y is smallest number. Now we need to compare x and z. So if x is less than z, that means x is the middle number and z is the largest number. Okay, so what will be the assignments? Minimum number will be y. It is clear from this comparison, and from this comparison we are clear that x is the middle and z is the maximum. Okay, otherwise opposite of this will happen. Mid will be z and max will be x. So this is the third case of where z can be your minimum number. So elif or else means here we are not required to write this type of condition, because if x is not smallest, y is not smallest, obviously z will be smallest. So you can write it or you can avoid it. Else we are writing to means if these two are not satisfied, then this will work. Okay, so if x is less than y, that means z is smallest, we know that, so we will put minimum z. Okay, mid will be calculated on the basis of this comparison. If x is less than y, that means what? X is mid and y is the maximum number. Otherwise y will be your middest number and maximum number would be your x. Now we will be printing out these numbers in a format like ascending order we have. So on giving this print, we will get this. So how to run it? Go in run, tab and click on F5. Okay, so it is asking me to enter first number. Let us say it is 34. Second number can be 56 and third number can be 12. Actually it is executing all other programs also. So the output is this. Okay, do not consider these because these are the other programs that we'll be discussing right now. Okay, so this is the output. Fine, let us go back. Fine, okay, So I'm making this comment. Now this second program is active here, and I just want to make third program inactive. Okay, see, this green part indicates these all are comments. Okay, now second program of today's revision class is to print cubes of numbers between a given range. So print numbers from a given range means you need to do a certain type of task again and again. For that we need a for loop. So in this program you will come to know how the for loop will work. So for loop, I is the variable which will keep on changing itself from 15 to 20. Mind it, every time the boundary value at the right corner will be excluded, means it will work up to 20 only, it will not include 21. Okay, so I is varying from 15 to 20, and what it will do, it will print the cube. How we are giving it in the print statements? The print statement cube of number I is 15, then 16, then 17, then 18, then 19, then 20. When it will be 21, the loop will become false and it will not print further. Okay, at end, why I am writing this, I just want to give space. Okay, next, how to calculate cube? We know this is an exponent operator. When we write 2 times this multiplication time, it becomes exponent and it will calculate I into I into I. So that will be a cube. Okay, now let us discuss another case of it. What is the second case of it? See, if here I'm not giving any step size. This is the starting point, and this boundary value, excluding this boundary value, will be your ending point. Okay, here I'm giving step size also. Step size means it will not go on 16. After 15 it will go on 17, then 17 it will leave 18, it will go on 19. So it is doing the same task, it is calculating the cube, but it is skipping one in between. It is taking the step size 2 के साथ. So I have added another argument to this particular for loop statement. Okay, it can be written like this. 2 arguments you can pass. It can be like this also. Okay, another variation in it, if you can also give, you can make the loop work reverse. How reverse? Means it will start from 21 so it will start, and it will go up to 16. It will not go up to 15. Okay, 21 se it will go up to 16. I told you boundary value is never included, and it will decrement -1, means 21, 20, 19, 18, 17 and 16. Finally it will stop. So let me execute these 3 cases again. So now for running it, we'll go in run F5. Okay, so see the output. Cube of number 15 is this, 16, 17, 18, 19 and 20. I told you 21 will not be a part of it. Now with the step size 2, it will be 15, 16 will be skipped, then 17 cube root will be calculated, cube will be calculated, then 18 will be skipped, 19 cube will be calculated, and 20 will be skipped, but 21 is not a part of it, because I told you this boundary value is never included. Okay, next was if we are taking negative, see here I was taking negative step size. So for negative step size, what is my outcome? Cube number of this 21 say it will go up to 16, it will exclude 15, 1 decrement it is doing. Okay, I hope you are getting it. Okay, now let us go to next part. In this particularly, we will be calculating the square root. Okay, we will be calculating the square root. So how to make it square root, how to calculate the square root? Just by giving little change in the above program. So here you can see square root alternatively we'll be calculating, we'll skipping out, so step size 2 is required na. Okay, so we'll be starting up with 1 and we will go up to 10, so up to 9 we will calculate the square roots, but we will skip one number in between, and we are calculating the square root. So I raised to power 1 by 2, 1 by 2 is 0.5. So you need to keep in mind when you need to calculate the square root. What is to be done? You will write 1 by 2. 1 by 2 is 0.5. So exponent operator again we are using as we were using in square root. You can see also in square root we were I raised power 3 we were doing. Here we are doing I raised power 0.5. So it will give us the same type of output. Okay, but accordingly variation will be there definitely. See, it has given me the square root of the numbers from 1 to 10 alternatively. Okay, 1, then 2 is skipped, 3, 5, 7, 9, so on. Okay, square root. Fine. Okay. Now, let me execute the break statement, concept of break statement. Break statement is doing what type of work it is doing? It will take me out of this particular loop. Okay, it will give me out of this particular if statement. Okay, why break we are using? Sometimes we are hanged in a situation where we don't have an alternative, so we are forced to come out of a particular type of task. There we will use it. So here what we are doing, we are implementing the break concept with the help of a concept which is actually meant for division error. Means it will ask you to enter two variables a and b, values you will be entering, variables values you will be entering, and then we will be performing division like this. A by b will be doing, but by chance if you have entered b as 0, so what will be the outcome then? It cannot be defined na? That time the program will be hanged because a divided by 0 is not defined. So that is a troublesome situation. If such situation occurs, then we should break out of the program, otherwise our computer will be hanged. So what we have done, a, b, c are initialized to 0, so I will vary from 1 to 10, and means it will execute 10 times. It will execute 10 times. It will allow you to make this division 10 times. After that it will say program is over, because this loop will go false. Okay, this loop will work. This I variable will keep its value changing from 1 to 10. This boundary value will not be included. Okay, so let us execute this statement, this particular program actually. So to implement the break statement, enter the number that you want to divide, then second number from which you want to get it divided. So outcome is this. So in case you are giving a value like this, first number is this and second number it should be divided by 0, if I say, so what will happen? It will say division by 0 error, so it is aborting, so it cannot do perform calculation regarding it. So it will allow you to calculate this division 10 times if there is no error. So if you are trapped somewhere in this type of situation, it will take you out of this problem. Okay, so let us move to our next concept. Okay, so our last concept of today's lecture is your continue statement. How to implement this continue statement? So in continue statement I have used the same program, but this time when you are entering B0, that time it will ask you to go again to input the values of A and B. Okay, firstly it will allow you to execute this program 4 times, 1 to 4, fifth is not included, the 4 times it will allow you to execute the program. But in case you have entered value B, then it will give you another chance, and they will ask you to enter the value of a and b. So continue is taking back to the loop at the starting of the loop, and where it was taking break out of this loop here. Break is taking you here, and continue is taking you here. Means it will take you at the beginning, and it will take you at the end of this particular if statement. Okay, here print. Okay, so let me execute this program. Same program it is, but I have used continue instead of break. So it is asking for the numbers. Let us say we are dividing 8 divided by 4, you will get 2. We are dividing 9 by say 4, give it this. Let us say 3, next number is 0. So this will be your error condition na? So see what will be the outcome now. So division by 0, re-enter the numbers. So next is, again I will be giving 7 divided by 6a. So it has given you 4 chances. You can compare here. So you can compare here this output here. 4 times it was allowing you 1, 2, 4. Fifth will not be included. So you are entering 3 times, to 2 times, so you have entered the right number. Now at the third time you have given 0 division method. Then it will be giving you response like this, and total 4 time execution will go. The 1 time you have given wrong input, so that has not aborted the program, rather that was cancelled out. Okay, thank you so much. I hope you have understood the concept properly.